Hello, this is Jessica Drew, Abel Guevara, Tara Hatterer, Marsha Lamb, and Day Jones for the Healthcare Financial Management class, doing a financial analysis on Adventist health system.
An integral part of the Roseville community, Adventist Health is located at 2100 Douglas Boulevard in Roseville, California. It services many of the western United States, including California, Hawaii, Oregon, and Washington. It has a vast network of health associates with more than 5,000 physicians, 24,600 employees, and 3,700 volunteers, totaling to over 33,300 employees. With more than 2,900 beds in 19 hospitals and 13 home care agencies, 7 hospice agencies, and 4 retirement centers, Adventist Health has been ranked as one of Becker's list of largest nonprofit hospital systems in the United States. All of Adventist Health medical centers are accredited through the Joint Commission. Adventist Health has been providing compassionate care for well over 140 years, with their first original location called St. Helena, located in Roseville, California. It opened its doors in 1878, and by 2016, Adventist Health had 2.3 clinic patient visits and more than 1.1 million rural health clinic patient visits. The system was seeing more than 1,100 patients per hour in more than 280 clinics. This included deliveries of more than 19,600 papers and caring for over 679,000 patients in emergency rooms. The Seventh-day Adventist Church has been the foundation of Adventist Health's beliefs that includes the loving and healing power of Jesus Christ. Adventist Health's heartfelt mission is living God's love by inspiring health, wholeness, and hope. The Adventist Health vision is compelled by our mission to live God's love by inspiring health, wholeness, and hope. We will transform the health experience of our communities by improving health, enhancing interactions, and making care more accessible. The Adventist Health values include integrity, compassion, respect, and excellence.
Occupying the LA and rural areas in the southern tip of California, Adventist Health is not an organization one would assume is optimally positioned to compete with larger health systems in the area, like Cedars-Sinai, Kaiser Permanente, and UCLA Health, all big names operating in generally the same area and performing similar services. These hospitals have health plans, billions more in profits, and equally strong community ties. Now, Adventist hospitals circumvent these obstacles by using their strong religious ties to other Adventist organizations, consolidating revenue cycle partnerships with companies like Cerner to streamline technology, and entering into business partnerships that offer services in which they can turn a profit to stay in business. The Jones-Long-LaSalle Network partnership outsources the management of their property, and the Purchasing Advantage operation is a logistical side business that the hospital uses to profit from helping other organizations make their supply chain operations more efficient. Their donation structure is expansive. Donors can be anonymous, create employer-employee matching programs, participate in regular deductions from their own accounts, create memorial funds for new births, the deceased, or providers who have helped them, or they can even make large corporate donations for special projects. By being a fixture in the community, Adventist has long cultivated brand recognition by turning their donations into more help for the indigent and uninsured before there was even an ACA. Concentrating their efforts in 2 areas, they managed to use this to stay competitive. First, preventive care, physical fitness, and nutrition initiatives, which are popular in California. They're known for offering free healthy food initiatives, food prep workshops, nutritional counseling, food provision, and fitness classes, with a special focus on the elderly at YMCAs and senior centers. They utilize philanthropy to promote themselves in wealthy areas, then take that money to rural areas to invest in new technology, renovate, and expand facilities. Each year they host a large gala. This offers donors free publicity, and even more money is raised at the galas for their causes. They also encourage large businesses to promote themselves by donating to pet projects, such as Bank of America spent their donation specifically on encouraging youth interested in health careers to complete paid internships in the hospital. So far, this community reinvestment strategy has worked to Adventist's advantage. $380 million was spent on community outreach in 2015, triple that of Cedars-Sinai. And U.S. News and World Report maintains that Adventist ranks in the top 20 for overall performances in adult specialties in that same year. If asked how they accomplished this business model, you can look at the clever ways in which they use their nonprofit charity status. With a small contingency fund, donations are essentially a substitute for a robust capital budget. Using other businesses to generate revenue and reinvesting in the community keeps them afloat financially and makes them a positive fixture in the public eye.
Adventist Health performed a ratio analysis to evaluate various aspects of the company's operational and financial performance. Profitability ratio was used to measure Adventist's performance in their ability to make a profit. Their profitability has increased from 2014 to 2015 in multiple areas. When comparing national standards, the organization met or exceeded profit goals for most metrics. Return on asset is below the national average, but is up 50% in comparison to last year. When comparing Adventist to its competitors, their percentages are below the desired standard, but they continue to increase. Financial and cash balances showed a modest improvement. Overall, for 2015, the organization generated more revenue in comparison to their own expenses and continued to push towards the right direction in this regard. The liquidity analysis showed that the company is in good standing. When examining the liquidity ratio, Adventist looked to assess its ability to meet its financial obligations. The current ratio is slightly below the national average and is down from the previous year. Days cash on hand met national standards and decreased from last year. Excuse me. In regards to their competitors, Cedars-Sinai does not meet the national standards and their liquidity is 4 times higher than Adventist. The organization's credit profile could be altered by higher capital spending, but Adventist is on the right track and demonstrates the ability to fulfill their obligations. Debt management ratio looks at how much of Adventist's operation comes from debt. Their debt ratio is 55%, showing they have more assets to cover debt. When evaluating the competition, Adventist has less debt, but their debt ratio increased nearly 7 times greater than the industry standard to 21%. They also have greater long-term debt in comparison to Cedars-Sinai, but it has decreased from the previous year. When evaluating last year's measures, they came in at 3.5, which is an improvement and shows that they are able to meet their interest expenses. Adventist's ability to cover fixed charges computes to 0.75, which means their fixed charge coverage is less than their competitor and makes them the riskier organization.
When it comes to asset management, Adventist is not very efficient. One of the areas where they fall short when measured against the competitor is inventory turnover. Adventist inventory generates 69 cents in revenue to Cedars-Sinai's $1.06 in revenue per $1 of inventory. Adventist fixed asset turnover generates $1.80 in revenue with each dollar invested in fixed assets, which is well below the industry standard of $3, indicating Adventist needs to be more efficient in investing in its fixed asset. Total asset turnover stands at 85 cents, 12 cents below the industry standard, but 12 cents above Cedars-Sinai. Although they are below, it is an improvement over the previous year, so they are going in the right direction. Where Adventist is doing well in asset management is in current assets. It is at $2.80 when compared to their competitors' $1.20. They're doing well at turning accounts receivables and short-term investments into cash. Adventist is also efficient in turning accounts receivables into cash in 50.4 days, which makes the organization more liquid. They are performing better than the competitor and the industry standard. Their average payment period is 92.2 days, which is significantly higher than their competitor and the standard. Additionally, this is an increase over the previous year. The higher the number of days indicates a lack of liquidity, which conflicts with the days in accounts receivables. Adventist's average age of plant is less than their competitors by 5 years and far below the national standard of 11 years. which may mean that their plant and equipment is a recent investment and they are using technology efficiently. The return on equity for 2015 was 5.3%. But to get a better picture of the health of the organization, we need to do a DuPont analysis. The DuPont analysis will tell us what is influencing the return on equity. It deconstructs the return on equity with three calculations using the components of the return on equity, return on asset, and total equity. The first computation is the total margin. It tells us how well Adventist is controlling expenses. The calculation shows Adventist generates 0.028 or 3 cents in profit for every dollar of revenue. This is above the industry standard, but significantly below Cedars-Sinai, and it is also an increase for them over the previous year. The second computation is total asset turnover, and it tells us if the assets are being used efficiently to generate revenue. For Adventist, each dollar of asset generates 84 cents in total revenue. The higher total asset turnover, the better. So 84 cents is below the industry standard, but an increase of 5 cents over the previous year. The third is the equity multiplier or leverage, and this calculates to 222%, which means that Adventist is using more debt than equity to finance their asset. The DuPont analysis shows that the return on equity is mainly influenced by leverage, then by profit margin, followed by total asset turnover. The ideal position would be where profit margin and total asset turnover are more influential than leverage.
Team 1 conducted an Adventist Health SWOT analysis. So let's look at 3 of each category. For their strengths, we see that they're specialized patient care, staff and services, strong community brand name, and a variety of locations across the country. Some of the weaknesses include inefficient accounting systems, turnover rates, lack of staff in rural areas. And some of the opportunities include provide financial assistance to the community, telepharmacy services to rural communities, referral programs for medical staffs. And some of the threats are new competition, increasing healthcare costs due to new legislation, competitor costs less expensive for the same products or services.
Adventist's strategic plan for revenue cycle management identifies 4 main areas: people, processes, technology, and metrics. C-suite leaders and department managers will be responsible to provide leadership in these areas to manage the revenue cycle. Over the next 4 years, developing human resources through training and setting high expectations will be addressed. Organizational processes will be set around patient experiences. Selective use of technology will be addressed to improve patient experience. And finally, metrics used to measure and report will be identified to enhance performance. The operational plan for Adventist Health covers the people, patient experience, and improvement methodologies to establish Adventist Health as a high-performing organization for managing their revenue cycle. Adventist will have hiring managers hire the right people by creating detailed job descriptions outlining qualifications, and they will also provide at least 10 days of training, formal and informal, to continuing education opportunities, and provide resources to connect staff to external education opportunities as well. The leadership will target revenue cycle improvement around the patient experience and focus on front-end processes. Enhancing front-end processes entails developing integrated revenue cycle processes to enhance communication throughout the organization, streamline scheduling processes to minimize patients' needs to communicate with the office, and upgrade technology to better serve front-end processes. Adventist Health will also adopt improvement methodologies by bringing in high-performing teams to examine, measure, and improve current processes. Also, develop and enforce systems of accountability around monitoring and reporting practices will guide activities that are measured and reported frequently.
This concludes our presentation.